Well, hello on a glorious sunny day. There isn't a cloud in the sky. Continuing with my book, No Naked Walls, this is chapter 19 and the colour is grey. Grey is not a colour, it's a condition. How well do I remember this sentence? It's been with me all my painting life. It's a Wednesday, a sunny morning, cold and crisp. You can see your breath vaporise into the sky. The door is open and the heaters are blowing out an inviting warmth. In strolls a well-dressed gentleman, slightly long hair, a trilby hat, and an old-fashioned style of full-length tweed coat with an attached cape. He has a red kerchief tied around his neck, and his brogues, though well worn, are well polished. Good morning. I am looking for the proprietor. Now, as you know, I don't allow random artists to turn up and see me without an appointment. Yet this man has a compelling aura about him, and I'm intrigued by his take on contemporary dress code. I'm he. May I help you? I'm wearing a leather jacket, long hair, a loud designer shirt without a tie. I'm examined in disbelief. I own this gallery, I confirm. My friend has mentioned your establishment. You apparently have a good reputation. Well, that's a good start, I say jovially. Do you actually sell this modern work? What sort of people purchase it? I must confess, I find it a tad difficult to understand the concept. Well, this is a challenge to rise to. Well, not everyone wants cows and sheep, or tits or tigers, or cute gun dogs on their wall, now do they? In an embarrassed fashion he nods. I'm a classical painter, and yet I feel that this might be the right place to exhibit my work. I'll have to be the judge of that. Would you like a drink? Belinda taps my foot and mouths to me, You're mad. I smile and watch her sashay out to put the kettle on. The artist sits down to explain his compelling life. An hour goes by with hardly a word from me. It's now dangerously near 1 o'clock, and he suggests we should partake of some lunch. I haven't partaken of lunch in ages. What a lovely expression. I like his approach to life, a man after my own heart, and I tell him so. Belinda, says I, you're in charge. I have a feeling this is going to be a long lunch. She tuts in disbelief. You'd have thought she'd have been used to my bon vivant habits by now. There's a rather good restaurant round the corner, he says, as if working here I wouldn't know that. Like an ending to a vintage movie, we set off for the world of wine, food and good banter with a hint of gossip. There is an amazing honesty to my new drinking buddy, and his knowledge of history and love of life helps the lunch go along no end. As do 2 large gin and tonics before a 3-course set menu, and the decision to wash it down with 2 superb French red wines, followed by 2 large vintage ports. In fact, lunch flows seamlessly into the afternoon tea without either the sandwiches or the tea. I'm getting a premonition. You know the one, that feeling deep inside of a significant friendship in the making, despite the alcohol trying to cloud one's judgment. This is the start of something. I know it. This man just might be the catalyst to getting my own artistic career kick-started. I mean, who knows? In the end, we shake hands, and with a lilt in his step, he leads me to pick up the bill. I carefully reach the exit of the restaurant, feeling like I've had a great time with a distant uncle who knows all the answers to everything important. Or maybe I'm just rather pissed. I wander around the block to put my head back into gear or two, and it's approximately 5:45 before I drift back into the gallery. A Casablanca quote comes to mind. It looks like it's the start of a perfect friendship. Please don't get me wrong. It isn't sexual. It's the coming together of 2 totally different people with a common liking or two, namely wine, women, and the passion for art, that is. My thoughts are interrupted by a loud bang. Belinda's dropped the order book to the floor deliberately. She regards me like a scolding teacher and spits out her grievance. We need another assistant. I don't like being on my own with all this expensive stuff. It's not stuff. My natural heartbeat reasserts itself. My aunt, well, I call her my aunt, is looking for some part-time work. My mind is elsewhere. I know it's dangerous, but sometimes one is allowed to separate oneself from the reality of work, especially after a last glass of port. What? Oh, right, fine. Ring her up and see if she'll come in. She's in town tomorrow. I could get her to call by and say hello. I could take my lunch break with her. Oh, bless women, they're always ahead of the game. All right, I say. Giving in seems the easiest option. Belinda is obviously excited. Don't know why. She always has an aura of nothing fazing her. Emotions don't usually register in her expression, let alone in her eyes. She even gains an unaccustomed spring in her step. It resembles happiness. Maybe I should be concerned. The next day, at precisely 1 o'clock, she goes for lunch. It's a quiet afternoon, and I have space to reflect on the look of the gallery. I love the art. I love the artists I work with. And bless the customers, one has to like most of them. There are exceptions, but the truth is that gallery life is fascinating and varied, which would be no problem at all if I didn't constantly suffer the pangs of wanting to be an artist myself. I want to have my work in the gallery. I want someone else to buy my pictures. I want the time to paint. Ah yes, that magic concept, time. Suddenly, an hour's gone. I've no idea where. I've been completely lost in the dream world. A tall lady, long flowing red hair, wearing bright red 50s style lipstick and a smart, well-tailored navy blue jacket impinging on my space. Her heels are just about as pornographic and her legs continue all the way past a tight-fitting, somewhat short skirt. Art has taken the giant step for mankind out the door. More primitive urges are kicking in. Hello, I'm Caroline, Belinda's aunt. My friends call me Charlie. Her vocal cords are down in the female equivalent of the sub-basement. With that, she lunges forward to take my hand and draw me devastatingly close to her. Belinda said you were in town. I'm stammering a little over the words because my nose is being assailed by the classic aroma of Chanel No. 5. Please take a seat. I offer her a chair and she sits, crossing her wondrous legs and smiles. I love art and all it represents, she says. That's a good place to start, I say. Have you worked in retail before? Well, I had my own lingerie shop in Cheltenham. You'd be surprised what used to go on in there, especially when the nags were running. I could imagine her as a very successful shopkeeper. I wager there were more male customers than female. However, was she the right sort of woman for my enterprise? She could melt glass with her overt sensuality. Ah well, in for a penny, as they say. I'm great at weekends, she smiles again for the returning Belinda's benefit. Thanks for lunch, Auntie. Now, I definitely don't know if I'm conducting an interview or a date match. Would you like to make your aunt a cup of tea or something? Belinda examines each of us in turn. Wine, perchance? This is a job interview. That's me trying to scold her and failing dismally. And a celebration, says Charlie. Red or white? Belinda brings out a bottle of sparkling rosé and 3 glasses. It's also Auntie's birthday. Well, happy birthday, I say. Welcome to the madhouse. There is no escaping it. Charlie is charming, bubbly and charismatic. Belinda says she can't wait to have a weekend off. Conniving young woman. I'm going to be left with Aunt Charlie, whether I like it or not. The bottle is finished, and Charlie leans over to kiss both my cheeks and says, "Thank you." Her departure is casual, and I'm sure calculated to hold my attention. But in my mind, I can hear the rapturous applause of a non-existent audience. Thank you.